Okay, so I'm sure you all know there's a bunch of racist whites, Jews, and LGBT people who change videos. They change the sound of things. They remaster songs to fit their kind of culture, their expectations for the environment and the atmosphere and the spirit of the places on the planet. So they're changing my voice out of jealousy. This video is part one in a video series about why it is a Royal African Falcon top martial arts spirit. Why not a white spirit or an Asian spirit or an Arab spirit? Why not, a Zulu or some other spirit? First, let's look at perhaps the most obvious thing of all when it comes to martial arts. That whites and Jews, white-skinned Jews, they did not do martial arts. They did not value martial arts to the point where they're doing them. They were aware of them to some degree from ancient times in Africa, and they did not do them. Martial arts in its pinnacle is like an African pressure cooker event. I'm sure you can all imagine if you took all the best black basketball players in history and you put them against the best white basketball players in history, the black basketball players would win. Jordan, Will Chamberlain, LeBron, and whoever else. Kobe, whoever. Now, black people didn't play basketball for thousands of years, but they did martial arts in the jungle where you had to be very careful where you stepped. You'd have to hone your senses to the extreme to look out for your enemies and all the dangerous animals in the jungle. The leopard and the falcon were seen as the master hunters. The falcon flies high and it dives at 242 miles an hour, faster and master. So the falcon is set apart above the lion, above the leopard, as the master martial art animal. I want you to look at the pictures on the screen carefully, right? There's some Viking, I think there's an English soldier, there's a Roman soldier, there's some kind of musketeers, and think about what they have in common. They do what I would call craftsman arts. It's their craft. Instead of it's a martial and divine art, it's simply a craft, right? Vikings were pirates. They had their religion, no offense to anybody, but they weren't very spiritual and moral people. They didn't have a precise moral code, which is key. If we look at the book that an African professor wrote, who had a PhD in African studies, right? T.J. Dushobi. It's something like African traditions in the transatlantic world or something like this. Okay, it points out that Igbos, my tribe, had an accompanying moral code. And this is part of why Martin Luther King went beyond other people of his time, and I go beyond him, is because of that accompanying moral code, right? Mind, body, soul, and spirit. Okay, responsibility, response-ability, emergency, emerge, and see. Urgency, urgency, urgency. So we see who is responding and who isn't. So when God's looking at this, and it's written in the Bible that no bad tree can bear good fruit, and no good tree can bear good fruit, and in Proverbs 18:9, one who slackens his work is brother to one who destroys. He sees that this African martial arts spirit, as you would expect, goes beyond the other spirits of people. And there's a bunch of different African martial art groups. And he who is the top martial artist, right, the Igbo, right, is the only true representative of God, the Messiah, the Savior, the one who can draw the Spirit of God and deliver people. Christ said in the New Testament, okay, if he casts out demons by God's Spirit, then the kingdom of heaven is upon you. And we're not talking about some magic card, witchcraft, poltergeist movie, Hollywood, church, theater art, bullshit. Catholic exorcisms, it's all rubbish. It's all a game. It's all psychology and chemistry and nonsense. It's witchcraft. We're talking about focus, moral intensity, right? The foundation of God's throne is righteousness and justice, not witchcraft and silly rituals, not mere human rules, customs, and traditions, and pharmakeia, and poisoning and witchcraft, but what is actually true. Now, who did deal in those things? Apollo, a pagan deity who would cause plagues to occur, and only when people kissed his ass would he help them with science and medicine. Look it up. Look up what Apollo is a deity of, and look at the stories. You'll see that I'm right. So we can quickly ascertain that I've proven definitively that you know them by their works, by their fruits, by their deeds, and the true spirit of God is moral precision. Not white supremacy, Jewish supremacy, token minorityism, LGBT politics, but moral precision. It is the heterosexual Royal African Falcon, top martial artist spirit. And after I'm gone, no one will be worthy to lead. They won't even be trustworthy, much less able to be proven worthy. Thank you. Well, real quickly, it's hard to find a depiction of anything similar to the Royal African Falcon martial art order. They even edited my pictures and so on. So the picture of the African person I used is far from perfect. I do not have that person's religion. That's just a picture I use to try to help you understand. They gay wash it, and quite often the gay wash means they make it like a Power Ranger or a Care Bear or some He-Man kind of look to it.